could just take a catchphrase, turn it league colors, slap a logo on there. Boom. Boom.
That's too in-depth. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Midnight Coffee Shop. My name is AJ, and I will be your host. I never think of the witty comments anymore. I forget about them. I will be your host with the most. Got it. Anyway, I got a lot of news to go over, kind of, not really. I mainly got what's happening in the LCS right now, and the...
Whoa. You are also joined by...
I'm getting
Cole.
That motherfucker.
What's
My nuts are blessed. My nuts are blessed.
Audio check completed.
Let's
run it back.
Alright, I have a little bit of news about the LCS and what's happening there with the LCSPA and all that shit going on. I also have kind of news. I mean, Riot's new TFT set just dropped. Super fun. Really wish I could play more than like 10 minutes of it. But before I get to the news and before we get to the topic of today's episode, as always, I'm joined by...
Cole.
Damn. I tried. The name's Dev.
What the fuck? Fair enough. So yeah. So if I'm honest, I don't know exactly everything that's happening with the strike of the LCS, essentially. But I know how it started. And it started back when Riot started franchising the LCS, which is just teams buy slots rather than get relegated and like bump themselves into LCS. Riot made it to where it's like these 10 teams are in the LCS. At the time, I don't remember what it was, and no shit like Echo Fox and Phoenix One were in there, Clutch Gaming, Optic, etc. And then they said, hey, the price was there. The price was set.
Yeah.
But they had the Challengers League as well. And they said every team in the LCS, all 10 teams, have to have a team in the NACL, which is the North American Challengers League. Each team has to field 5 players, a coach, staff to accommodate those players, has to pay them a salary, etc. Teams didn't really like that. It's a bit of a money drain, especially when they misuse it. Because yes, I will say they fucking misused the shit out of the NACL.
How so? Because I'm not too familiar with the competitive.
So with the NACL, it's supposed to be for like up and coming players. Players like Blabber came up through that sort of circuit.
Like a scouting kind of thing?
It's kind of supposed to be. It's supposed to be like, hey, there's this really young player. There's a 17-year-old like rank 1 jungler in North America, rather than just letting him stew in solo queue, like how Dantes is, like how Tenacity was, like how General Sniper was, etc. They said, we're going to sign him, and we're going to give him professional experience. We're going to let him play in the amateur circuit, and when we think he's ready, we're going to bench our jungler for a game and put him in the real leagues and see how he does. Let him get that experience on stage. We're going to split time, etc. But instead, what they did with the amateur circuit, what a lot of teams started doing, is instead of getting new talent that was rising up in solo queue, instead of doing all that, they said, nah, you remember those players from 5 years ago that were on the second place team? Let's sign them to our roster and put them in challengers. So our challenger team looks really good. They just use that as a retirement home.
Yeah, that is kind of...
Like, don't get me wrong. I love Haunter. I love Wild Turtle. I love Xmithy. Xmithy isn't in there anymore. Pobelter isn't in there anymore. They both retired, or Xmithy moved to coaching, etc. though. So many, like, older players got put in the Challengers League just so the Challenger teams could look good. Rather than letting new talent take over.
Yeah, kind of like you could say like with the movie where rather than like with Ghost in the Shell where they got Angelina Jolie instead of an actual like Asian like
Yeah.
replication of, it's like, they did it because she sells, rather than sitting there and getting like some talent that actually.
Yeah. And it's just depressing.
I see what you're saying.
Like, as much as I love those players, I want new talent. I want to see like people hungry for this. Like, they are hungry.
Mm-hmm.
My opinion, their time, I wouldn't even call it 15 minutes. I'd say like their 2 days of fame are gone.
Yeah, I'd say kind of like you just need like a fresh face. I think kind of like freshen up the.
Shit like Busio and Tenacity, they came up through that. And they got starting spots on the 100 Thieves roster, went to 4th place. And then 100 Thieves, instead of keeping Tenacity, his fucking rookie year in the LCS, he'd played 2 games in the LCS before that. His rookie year in the LCS, instead of keeping him on the team, they just immediately let go of him and took in Sunday, their old top laner that they traded to EG the split before. It was dumb.
That is.
They kept Busio though, which I'm grateful for. I love Busio.
So wait, what's the strike? Like, what you said there's a strike. Like, what's going on?
So, probably like 2 weeks ago, the teams approached Riot and they said, "Hey, remove this rule about us having to have a challenger team. It's draining us money.
Mm-hmm.
We're losing much more money than we were before, all because we have to have this team." And Riot was like, "I'll think about it." The players, the LCSPA, which is the LCS Players Association, turned around and said, "Don't do that." As much as like it's a drain, there are still some people coming up from this, like Leap, like Busio, like Tenacity, like there's others. I can't fucking think of them at the moment. Tactical was another one of them. They were like, "Hey, don't do it. Don't remove it. There's people coming up, and if teams would use it correctly, there'd be a lot more coming up." So Riot goes, "Okay, we hear you. We won't like mess with it until we can sit down and like actually restructure it, and that'll be we'll make those announcements in 2024." Then a week later, they turned around and said, "All right, we're dropping the rule. Your LCS teams are no longer required to have a challenger team." And then overnight, 7 out of 10 LCS teams dropped their challenger teams, fired their roster, fired their staff, gone overnight. Some players didn't even hear it from their orgs. They heard it from news sites reporting on it.
That's kind of scummy.
Yeah. So
I guess that wouldn't really be Riot's fault. Would that be like?
It's Riot. It's not Riot's fault for teams immediately firing them. It is Riot's fault for telling the LCS Players Association, "We're not going to mess with this till 2024, and then turning around and immediately dropping it. They just lied to their faces.
Yeah.
So the LCSPA, after it was somewhere between 70 and 100 people lost their jobs overnight. The LCSPA gathered, the Players Association, and they held a vote for a walkout before the summer split began, which it was supposed to begin in 2 days. No, tomorrow, I think, actually. I don't remember. They held a vote, and in a record-breaking unanimous vote, everybody agreed to not do the summer split, to not start the summer split, to walk out. So Riot's response to that was telling all the LCS teams, "You have to field a roster for the summer split, or we will kick you out of the league." So LCS teams are like, "Well, we can't do anything. Our players are refusing to play. You won't let us hire new players in the middle of the season. We don't have anybody to put out because there are rank requirements." So Riot's response was, "You can hire new people during the season now, and we're dropping the rank requirements. There are no ranked requirements."
Yo, I gotta contact these people on the double.
So
we gotta save North America.
So people started, LCS teams were like, okay. Let's find these like NA solo queue players and just hire them on for like $1,000. Pay them like a $1,000 buyout and like just have them play. Riot goes, nobody was buying it. a lot of like high elo streamers are standing with the players because a lot of them are friends.
Yeah.
That's the big reason why the Players Association agreed to walk out, is because like 70 of their friends lost their jobs.
Yeah.
So Riot said, no, you have to do a minimum of $2,000 per game. They told LCS teams that they had to pay each player and staff and coach $2,000 per game.
Huh.
Just so, be more likely people would take the offer.
Yeah.
Still,
But then it's like,
nobody wanted to take the offer because it's career suicide if you do that.
yeah.
So Riot finally, first, the LCSPA released their demands. And if I'm being honest, they shot for the moon and it went straight through the moon because they are some high-ass demands. It's like guaranteed salaries for all, or not salaries, guaranteed contracts for all 5 players who were on the winning team.
Mhm.
It's the only one that I do like is relegation. I wish they would bring back relegation because it forces teams like TSM TSM and Dignitas are like 9th and 10th. It forces them to actually like try to build good rosters instead of just having their name in the LCS.
See, relegation though, what is that?
Relegation is so the Challengers League is 10 teams. The LCS is 10 teams. The last 2 teams of the LCS and the first 2 teams of the Challenger League go against each other.
Ooh.
At the end of the season,
Mhm.
or at the end of the split. Whoever wins, it's 2 head-to-head matches. It's I think it's like the 1st and 9th place, and then the 10th and 2nd. Whoever wins is in the LCS. Whoever loses is in Challenger. And it's 2 best of 5s. They used to have it a while back. It's how teams like FlyQuest and Golden Guardians gotten into the LCS before it. Not Golden Guardians, it was a different team. I don't remember. That's how a team like FlyQuest got into the LCS. But they released all the Players Association released their demands, and Riot said no to all of them. So the LCSPA was just like, okay, we're not going to play. And Riot goes, okay, we're going to postpone the LCS starting, the LCS summer split. We're going to postpone it for 2 weeks. Every day, the LCSPA and Riot are going to sit down and have a meeting and discuss on where we can come together. If we do not have an agreement in 2 weeks, the summer split is canceled and North America will not play at Worlds. And that's about it right now.
What's your take on this?
I'm with the people, dude. Fuck.
Agreed, actually.
I'm thinking to myself, oh, so I can apply to this and I can get in? I mean, imagine that. Me.
I'll take one for the team.
No, you'll kill this podcast before it begins.
Hey, but we'll get notoriety.
You'll get
You'll
notoriety.
get a stroke.
I probably already have that. It's probably already happening, yeah.
Trust me, I've been stroking every day. Anyways, cut that. The other piece of news, though, besides the whole strike with the LCS, the new TFT set is so much fun. I love it. Like I said, I wish I could play more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, you've only played 10 minutes.
I have played more than 10 minutes. It's just only 10 minutes per game.
Well, waiting in the queue for 30 minutes does not count as playing.
I played 2 10-minute games before I got disconnected. One of them I was stomping. The other one I was starting to win.
I know the one that he said he was winning. He was at the bottom of the scoreboard, 27.
I was, but I was on a 2-game win streak. My balls, massive. Anyways.
You should name yourself Small Balls.
No, I will not fall to your hate, to your crimes.
Hey, I'm just
balls.
I will fall to that crime.
Giga balls.
Giga. Oh man, all I can think of is the Pokemon Giga Drain move. You know.
I was thinking of Reggie Gigas.
Reggie Gigas. But
they took it off PvE right now because there was such a high volume. By the time this releases, it should be like chilling on the PvE. There'll be a new like B patch every day just to like tweak all the little shit. So much fun.
I know
So cool. I love the new legend system.
the girl that did my tattoo. So we were just sitting there chatting while she was doing it. She's like, "Oh, what games do you play?" I'm like, "Oh, I know it sucks, but I play League." And she's like, "I just play TFT." I'm like, "Oh, the new patch comes out." She's like, "What? For real?" Yep.
New set coming out.
She
Yeah,
said
I'm gonna blow your mind real quick.
she was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
you can play it tonight.
the battle pass." She's like, "Oh, I still have to complete my battle pass."
But she got 2 weeks to do it.
Yeah. I thought it was actually coming out. I didn't know it was just coming out on the PvE.
I wish it was coming out. Gotta play the shit out of it. It's people say this about like every set. Like every time a new set is released, you'll see all the TFT content creators like posting on Twitter, posting on YouTube, on their Twitch clips, etc. going, "This is the best set ever. This is the best set. Riot will never top this." I am fucking genuine when I say that. Sure, they've been fun, but the past sets, they haven't been like the best.
For me, it was I like the dragon.
I like the new shit that they've done.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're always trying to innovate it.
Yeah, they're doing great at it. They're doing great at innovating it.
Yeah.
But the sets themselves are just. I've been more pissed off with most of these sets than I have been enjoying it. Like the last set that I actually enjoyed was Chosen set. Just because I thought that was such a fun fucking mechanic. Getting like
4 was fun.
Yeah.
Getting the
shit like
boards, that was fun.
The Chosen, the dragon, and the this one I like the hero
I like
augments.
the hero augments.
So I would say 3. Those are pretty good.
But
This one would be pretty interesting.
this one, it doesn't necessarily take you all the way back to basics, but it does take you to where that basics of TFT was. By instead of like having like all these skins and stuff, they're all based on the original champion for most of them. And it's all like, all the Ionian champions
I see
have
what
their
you're saying.
region as
Oh, yeah,
everything. All
Noxus,
the
Shurima.
Noxus, Shurima, Zaun, Piltover. It's dope as hell. So, oh god, I'm so excited.
I like how you're able to vote for like the starting thing. Was it the starting?
The portals. I'm not gonna say I don't like them. I do. I do like them.
Is that stroke?
You smell toast. I do.
Hemorrhagic.
I do like the portals though. It's just some of them are definitely just you don't pick them.
Some are just like you always go this. Everyone's just gonna vote it.
Yeah, there are some that like I'm like probably I definitely know I'm in the minority about. Just because I think they look cooler, they seem more fun. But it also does a one for all's voting system, where it's like if no one votes for this portal, you don't have a chance at getting that portal. But 7 people go for the Bandle City portal and 1 person goes for the Ionian portal.
Yeah.
You still got a chance at getting that Ionian portal.
Come on, Dave. You always pick the offhand.
I'm a contrarian. I go against the mainstream. You know how you kill a hipster? You drown them in the mainstream. I'll leave.
I feel like they can hear the disappointment in my stare.
Yeah, but at least they can't see him staring. It's daggers. He's staring into my soul.
He's right.
Won't be the first time I disappointed him. Won't be the last.
He's also correct. And then all the champions, dude. So much more fun. You can put a Rage Blade on Jhin and it works now.
Why would you put a Rage Blade on Jhin?
I was first place the whole game with a Rage Blade on Jhin.
I mean,
and he's a one cost.
yeah.
And his W does massive amounts of damage for some fucking reason.
I don't know. I think
2-star Jhin was one-shotting 2-star 3 cost.
They need to patch that. They need to nerf that.
It's so much fun. I'm so excited for when that actually releases. Because that's just gonna be all I'm playing really. I might actually grind TFT ranked. You should go watch it twitch.tv/Boggy.
So TFT, any other news?
As far as I know, no. if you want to hear about other regions of esports, the LPL has just started. I think they started Monday actually. And then, if I'm right, LCK probably starts in the next couple of days, and then EU follows right behind them. But other than that, I don't think I have any news. Diablo 4's release party was tonight, even though it's not releasing until like
June 6th.
June 6th.
I'm not purchasing it.
Why not?
Why aren't you going to get the collector's edition, Cole?
Mhm.
You don't have to purchase the game for it.
Yeah.
This looks like a money grab.
Aren't all games a money grab?
I guess
No.
so. Yeah, the point is that they make you feel good about spending your money and wasting a couple hours of your life.
And I do feel good about that.
Yeah.
In some cases, a couple thousand hours of your life.
And a couple of $1,000.
Yeah.
For some reason, you still feed it more.
Couple grand.
I can't get that.
I need to sit there and say this was worth it. This was worth spending money.
Speaking of games, though, that I've spent probably a couple of thousand hours in across platforms and different re-releases, Skyrim. It's actually my second most played game, I think, with Elder Scrolls Online actually being the most played just because I've sat on the title screen accidentally. I think I have like 900 hours in ESO, and then I have somewhere near like 850 for Skyrim, I think.
Probably got 1,000 plus in League.
That's amateur.
Yeah.
You play a lot of Skyrim.
You need to
on
reach like
Xbox.
1,000. Then you got to come back and talk.
I got to finish downloading my mod list for Skyrim because I found out, I didn't know this existed, and I don't know how long it's existed, but there's an app called Wabbajack. You know what the Wabbajack is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shield Gorath staff does random effects. There's an app called the Wabbajack that lets you download mod lists, full like 1,200 mod lists.
Like Modpack?
That all work with each
essentially.
other.
Yeah, that all mesh with each other. And like, one of my favorite mods for Skyrim, by the way, if you couldn't tell, the topic of today is modding. And one of my favorite mods for Skyrim is this mod called Legacy of the Dragonborn. The base mod adds a couple of hundred new loot items, somewhere around like 2 to 3, just around the world. Sometimes like really small items, like just, you go to this unmarked location that like, you would be next to during the main quest. And there's a lockbox, and the lockbox is this named ring. It adds shit like that to the game. And adds a museum in solitude that lets you display all of these items.
I feel like I've heard it.
I've talked
Legacy
about
of
it
the
a ton.
Oh, there we go.
It is by far my favorite Skyrim mod. I found a mod pack. Still trying to work out the fucking kink on how to download it, because I'll tell you one thing. I don't know how the fuck to work Wabbajack. But the mod pack is 1,200 mods. Always an error when you're trying to like download them all too.
Yeah. Also, you have to. How long does it take to download 1,200 mods?
Let me tell you something. If you don't have Nexus Premium, you have to manually do it. So I bought Nexus Premium.
He spent more money.
Wabbajack is free. But it's just the mod pack that I'm downloading is Legacy of the Dragonborn combined with like any mod that goes into it. It adds over like 5,000 new displays to the game to where you can like display all these extra loot items, adds several new quest lines, new locations, like new worlds. You can go to like Bruma down in Cyrodiil, which is I think it's the northernmost city in Cyrodiil that you got to go to during Oblivion. You can go to what is it called? It's not Hughesbane. Hughesbane is from ESO. You can go through this whole quest of getting the Grey Cowl of Nocturnal, which you got in Oblivion as well. But in Skyrim, instead of getting that as your Daedric artifact, you get the Skeleton Key. You can go to all the way down to Elsewhere, which is the home of the Khajiit, this giant like tropical jungle.
The cat people.
Combined with deserts. Khajiit also have really weird lore.
Also, what was the guy, the Mujaki? Wait, I am. It's the cat dude where he's like, he sits and he shows up in every single one of the games.
Mike the Liar.
There you go.
Mike's father was Mike, and Mike's father's father was Mike.
Trippy.
He is in every single one of the games except for the first two, I think. But he shows up in Morrowind, shows up in Oblivion, shows up in Skyrim, and shows up in ESO. And there's actually an achievement in ESO for finding him in every zone. And he has a random chance to spawn. So like you'll go into a zone, and if like someone's actively looking for him, people will type in the chat like Maik is in this location. Maik is here. I actually have an add-on to ESO that gives me like all these different map markers. Like if I want to like be looking for Maik, I turn on this little map pin, and it shows me all of his spawn locations in the area I'm in. It was real cool.
So, what is it? There's a Legacy of the Dragonborn. What other mods? Because we could talk about Minecraft.
There's a lot. If you want more on Skyrim, I don't really mess with any of the other mod packs. I think like the closest I've done really is mods called like Bijin NPCs, Bijin. It's Bijin NPCs, Bijin War Maidens.
Bijin War Maidens?
Yeah. Is it same spelling?
I was saying because it sounded like you said the other word.
Oh, I know. It's very similar. And there was one other, I don't remember what it was. But it just makes all the women look better. That's about it. Makes a lot of the romance options like have more high quality texture essentially. Yeah.
Golf costumes.
Golf's gonna go download Bitch and War Maidens later tonight.
Perhaps.
And then the
I
other
got some new lotion.
Gross.
It's for everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
First tattoo, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah.
Represent.
Talk about that for a sec.
I don't know because we don't have a camera. I can't really
He
describe
modded
it.
his body.
It is a mod. It's a mod.
I can't believe it.
So Devontae,
All right. I guess the best way to describe it is
when are you gonna get your nose pierced?
I will not do that.
When are you gonna get your ears pierced?
I will not do that.
Why you wouldn't
When are
want
you
to
gonna get your ear pierced?
Unknown. I gotta think a bit faster on that.
You get a big cubic zirconian.
A what?
Cubic zirconian.
Oh, what's that?
The fake diamonds.
Guess that.
Sapphire is a better alternative to diamonds. They're cheaper and look just as good, and they're like the second hardest gem.
And the best thing, they're blue.
Exactly.
So
you can also get them in different colors though.
You can also get a blue cubic zirconian.
Or I can get a sapphire.
Get a sapphire and a jade. I'm actually having one of my coworkers, his fiance is knitting me a beanie, a blue beanie, which I can't wait to see what that is or how that looks. And another one of my coworkers, she's going to be making me a bracelet. She's a red one and a blue one.
Hell yeah.
Yep. So that's going to be legit.
Legit.
That was a blast from the past.
I so desperately want another tattoo. After stepping foot in a tattoo shop, it's like
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Rabid about it. I'm feral.
So I've been wanting to get one for like 2 years. But so my mom had this one time experience where she got like a tattoo on her finger. And basically while it was being done, the woman was basically like scratching
her body.
Yeah, the woman was scratching her finger.
We're on topic right now.
But like halfway through doing the tattoo on her finger, the woman's like, "Oh, I'm high on Xanax, by the way." So of course, this terrified me. And then my understanding of like tattoo parlors are like all based on like movies, It always seems like that punk
Stereotype, yeah.
smoking, you know, like they're sitting there, it's a smoke shop basically, you
Yeah.
know. What is it? Hot
Cloudy
box.
when you walk in.
Yeah. I go in there and it's like, huh. What was it? We sit there.
You walk in, they're sitting there tattooing themselves.
No,
Yeah.
dude was doing the fucking reverse mermaid. That
Uh-huh.
shit. I would get that tattoo, not gonna lie. I'd get it like on the back of my leg.
I was thrown. Like
Funny.
so I go in there, right? They set me up and they're like, she's like, oh, you know, do you watch anime? I'm like, oh yeah, you know, we're sitting there talking about it. And we're just sitting there having a conversation with like him and her about like what type of animes we watched. You already know I said cheeky. You already know. And then he comes over there and he's like showing the the mermaid with the fish ass.
Yeah.
He's like fish titties, okay?
He was showing me, he goes, bass with bass.
Was the twerking was like a stripper pole. You even gave him an idea, like, oh man, you should put like a stripper pole.
Yeah, I was like, look to anchor a stripper bowl.
Yeah, he was like, because he's like, he had to draw a lot of anchors.
That was
Traditional tattoos.
man, that was
My mom's got an anchor.
Yeah, imagine how many people get an anchor here in my bill.
My mom does.
yeah, that was pretty cool.
But yeah,
Like I said, it was completely not what I expected. I came in with essentially like, okay, I'm going to commit to this, you know, just see how it is. Go in there, and like I said, the tool that they used was completely not what I expected.
oh yeah.
I was told like, hey, it was going to hurt, and it
Did it hurt?
Yeah.
Man,
I actually wanted to ask you, what on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you measure the pain?
You guys know like when you're getting blood drawn and how it's like that kind of prickling feeling as it goes in. For me, I have to watch the needle go into my arm. Otherwise, it stresses me out.
Very opposite. I'm the very opposite. Literally outside out of mind. That's how I am.
I
I
literally,
mean, it depends. If it's like in front of me,
Mhm.
like I'll watch it just because I like to watch it. But like my first 2 tattoos were on my back.
oh, and I was basically describing like getting blood drawn. It's like
oh.
getting blood drawn when the needle gets inserted into you. I have to look at the needle getting inserted. Otherwise, I stress out. So I have to kind of watch it. In this case right here, but it gives you that kind of same feeling of like, ooh, you know, and then you kind of get used to it. You know, a needle sticking out of your arm, a piece of metal. And with this one though, you see like the needle was like basically a handheld like stencil. Is that what it is? The pen for like
Yeah.
doing drawings?
Essentially, yeah.
Or yeah. So basically she's holding it like a stencil and she's just like, okay, here you go.
You draw this thing on your arm.
Yeah. The moment I hear it, like basically I feel it go into my arm, it's like, ooh, you know, basically piercing, you know, kind of moving about. It's like, this hurts, but it's not like a kind of, it's like more like a pinch, but like a constant, like
It's
being,
a constant pinch.
yeah, like being pinched like 20 times in a second or
Yeah.
something like that. And what was it? The ink, like, so she brought out like basically art, you know?
Oh,
A color palette of all the things that she was going to use. Just was like, oh, she dab it, run the needle through the arm, basically. Sit there and clean out the needle a bit, wipe it off,
Put a different
put a
color.
different color, just going back over. It did start hurting a lot more towards the end. But that's just because, like,
Your adrenaline.
it's a
tender.
fine that,
Your
yeah.
arm's tender, your adrenaline's wearing off.
Yeah.
And like you also know that you're coming to the end of it.
Mhm.
So it's like your body's like kind of like letting up on
This is
itself.
unnecessary.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, we're done, right?
Yeah.
And then she goes back from where it's like, oh, not
It's
done.
like,
not
all right,
done,
yeah.
not done.
Set it up, like I said, going around it. And I will admit, when I first, like, basically, so it was surprising. They put like, what do you call it? Like, basically like a water, what do you call it? Like one of those tattoos that basically
Numbing cream?
dry. No, it's like a tattoo that,
Oh.
what's it called? Like a water tattoo? I can't remember.
I just call them temporary tattoos.
Temporary tattoo. So, but it was an outline. It was an outline of it.
Stenciled outline.
Nice. And I was like, oh, this is actually, really surprising. Make sure you keep it within the lines. And it's good because, it puts me at ease because I'm like, all right,
Mhm. It's also there because it lets you get that visual of like, okay,
Yeah.
that's where it is, that's the placement.
exactly.
And they'll straight up ask you, they'll be like, hey, is this good? Is this
Yeah.
a good placement? Is this good
Mhm.
size? Is this what you want?
Yeah, like when I first went in, I wanted to be like this way, so I could always look at it like this. And now I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna put it, facing downwards. Like people can see when I'm walking, and see it in the mirror when I'm doing stuff. When basically she started with the green, like, so basically it's a treble clef with vines and blue flowers. So she started off with the vines first. She was like, hey, I'm doing this backwards. So she started off with the vines, and I was looking at it, and I'm like, part of me is thinking like, hey, this looks bad, but it's like, hey, it's because I'm not seeing the finished product. You have to think about it like it's the building part. It's not the finished product. You know what I mean?
All of my tattoos, I didn't really get to see it like in the building. Like the closest was the one on my finger, but most of the time it was blocked because when tattoo artists got to be up on my finger, like their hand is in the way. So I'm just kind of like there, like looking at it. I can start seeing this stem when they're moving towards the end of it, and it's like, okay. And then the other two are on my back, so
couldn't really see it.
I don't get to see it until they tell me.
They just put like a mirror in front of you and a mirror behind you and be like, yo, make this work.
That's how I had to like actually see it. After it was done. They gave me a handheld mirror to hold in front of me, and I just stood with my back towards the like big wall mirror. But my tattoo artist was like the one where I got my back. He was chill as fuck. He did all my cousin's tattoos. My cousin's got like a ton of Disney princess tattoos. Or no, not princess, villain tattoos actually. And like when I say a ton, I mean like a ton.
Inked up.
She goes the same guy for all our tattoos too. He's a really chill guy. I've met him, of course, because he did mine. And yeah, I think he talked about Stranger Things the whole time with me.
Nice.
Just because like that was big at the moment.
We talked about was it TFT, the new patch? Was it animes that we watch, video games that we play? It was a very, very, very cool experience.
It's always really fun.
Really enjoyed myself,
especially when you got like a nice charismatic artist who like has that conversation to have with you.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can't be helped, sometimes you don't have anything in common with your
artist. Or you're just so focused.
Or they're just really focused, man.
Oh, another thing too is, well, first off, one of the biggest things was like towards the end I started bleeding, and when she had to basically put pressure on it, it just caused like more kind of blood to come out. So like we couldn't really get the outline of it all kind of going. So it's like, all right, we can just let it go, rest up. 2 weeks later, if it needs a touch up, it needs a touch up. The guy that you guys both met with the fish ass guy.
So funny.
And fish titties and shrimp.
The shrimp on the stripper pole. If that guy draws that up, when you go back for that touch up, ask him about it, because if he draws that up, I might get that tattooed on my calf.
I can just ask that girl to just sit there and give you his Instagram. Yeah, probably. Boom, there you go.
That shit's so funny, man.
Yeah,
but I would get that tattooed on me. That shit's funny as fuck.
He's like, okay, everyone likes seafood around here. We're by the sea. I already do anchors. Might as well do some fish stuff. But I don't make it my way. Fish, he's just like.
The first thing he said to us was, "You guys like mermaids?"
Oh, that was the thing. He was sitting there.
Reverse mermaid.
What is it? He because like you basically have to get a sign off from, I guess, the boss. That's how I was made to understand. But he's like, hey, he brought this up to like the main guy who owned the place, and he's like, yo, what do you think about this? And he's like,
oh, it was to put it on the page.
Yeah, he's like, he expected to be like laughed off.
Yeah.
The guy was like, oh no, this is fire. Yo, put this on here.
Yeah.
It's like bet,
Yeah.
But one of the things that he said, which completely threw me for a loop, because it just kind of surprised me, because it's a tattoo, it's a permanent tattoo on your body. He said like people will sit there and they'll have like a sleeve tat or whatever, and they'll sit there and they'll start rushing. They'll be like, oh, by the way, I have to be like at work in probably about like 4 minutes. And it's like, the thing's not even done. Why would you schedule it like this? Like, free your day.
If I'm getting a tattoo, my day is completely free. I'm trying to get an early appointment. I'm going to get breakfast like an hour before that shit. Like,
it's just,
I'm getting set up if I'm going to get a tattoo.
Yeah, he was sitting there saying like, he's like, yo, you're actually a pretty chill person. Most people are coming in here, or not most people, my bad. He's like, some people are coming in here, they don't typically act this way. But like, he's like, you're very pleasant. It's probably because we
I guess
just
they get some first
that's what I was.
first customers.
That's kind of what I was thinking, and I think it was also because we talked about anime. Like I recommended him Arcane. I was like Arcane, Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Just giving him a bunch of like
Banger shit.
He
Yeah,
says,
real fast.
ooh, he loves watching trashy shows, like trashy anime. And I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm like, oh, I have plenty I can give you. I've watched over 100 anime, like animated shows.
Read a review.
What was it? There's one called Aki Can, where it's like a guy drinks a soda can and it turns into a girl.
My kind of show.
Oh,
Yeah.
yo.
How good was it, DeMonte?
I have it. That was one of the things where I actually was gonna watch, but it's in like my bookmarks folder of like, oh, I'm gonna watch this at some
I
point.
got so much of that.
Yeah, it's just, whew. You already know about Magic Warfare. I already told you about that. Don't even get me started again. It's gonna be a tear. But
There's one thing I forgot to mention in the news, which was some anime releases. Mushoku Tensei Season 2, I believe, comes out in June. And then it's in Shadows Season 2 got announced for October. Slight side tangent, still related to anime and news. I hate what anime studios are doing right now with their releases. They'll release a first season that's like 24 episodes, and then they'll wait like 2 years and a half, some shit like that, and they'll go, we got Season 2 coming out. It's 12 episodes.
Yeah.
Let me stick in your balls real quick.
Sit there and just, dangle it. You wanted this? Nisekoi.
Tickle your balls.
It's a romance anime, romantic comedy.
I've tried to get into Nisekoi.
I read the manga like after the anime or like after the first season. So I love the first season, and then the second season, it's just, hey, so you know how the first season was basically telling a base of the story like linearly. The second season is just a bunch of thrown together clips of just like out of order. And you're like, hey, this happened before this. It's like no organization. It's just basically just clips. And I'm just like, I waited for this. And this is just, garbage.
Shield Hero Season 2 makes me feel a similar way to that. I love Shield Hero. One of my favorites. I've read like probably up to that point in the manga. But Season 2 just felt so slugged. It felt so sluggish.
Also, we might want to get back to the whole entire modding thing, but I agree with you. I watched like 2 episodes into it, and I was just kind of like, this doesn't feel the same. I
just don't want to sleep watching it.
Yeah, felt kind of just. But what I was gonna say though is about the tattoo they were saying was
one slight more thing. One Piece live action is coming out this year.
No.
Yep.
No, it doesn't. No. Nah.
Yep.
There's no way.
It's the only way I'm going to watch One Piece.
Why? Why would they do this?
Listen.
They're tickling your balls.
I'm going to do One Piece exactly how people should do the Death Note live action. I'm going to watch the live action first.
It's the second one, or was it the live action for Death Note was actually pretty good.
It was.
But let's save that.
It's such a fun movie.
Yeah, let's save that for when we discuss it.
I talked to that about with Henry and Scott, and they were like, "Yo, that movie is garbage."
How can they?
Absolutely.
They watch garbage movies like as a profession. They can't sit there and say that. How can they sit there and say that this movie's garbage, man? They watch Cocaine Man. Which it delivered its premise.
Was it about a cocaine bear?
Exactly.
I don't know. I thought it was about a heroin turtle.
Oh. I assumed it was weed out there.
It's slow.
It's just.
It just falls asleep all the time. Looks like a zombie.
It overdoses, it just flips over.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What was it though? Oh, so basically, some people sit there and rush him. And it's like, for me, I was like, when I came in here, it was like 2 things. There are 2 things you generally don't want to do when you're getting a tattoo. Number 1 is go cheap, or necessarily not necessarily go cheap, but you want to get like high quality. You want to pay for high quality.
You want to pay for what you're getting. You want to get what you pay for.
Like if you go cheap, you don't want to sit there and be something where it's like your arm's messed up or what is it? Just stuff like that. So you don't really want to go cheap. That's my general philosophy. And also, why would you rush the person who's drawing on your arm with a permanent, drawing? Like, why would you rush them? And why would you, you wouldn't want to insult them either. It's like,
oh yeah,
stuff like that. It's like, why would you bite the hand that's, feeding you?
I have so many dumb tattoo ideas that I want to get so desperately. Like, we were talking earlier about,
you should get a heron turtle tattoo.
Yeah, what's the best way to display that? What's the name of that turtle?
What you do,
from the show?
You do is you get a normal turtle here,
Franklin,
and then you get turtle. You get the
with
underbelly of the turtle here with track marks, like heroin track marks on its underbelly.
That's me. I'm sorry, you were saying.
Oh, I got so many dumb ideas. And we were talking on the way back from going to see you get your tattoo about I just want to go into a random board game and take a card out and just get the art of that card tattooed on me.
Loaded dice.
He said, you're going to pull something stupid like rat on a stick. And I said, I would absolutely get that tattooed on me.
Oh, wait.
I also have personal rules when it comes to tattoos. And it's no faces, no words, no colors for me.
No faces, no words, no colors.
No colors.
Yeah, I don't like getting colors in my tattoo.
How come?
Eventually they fade. I'd rather just go black.
Did you see her tattoos? Almost all her tattoos were black and white.
Yeah, they also fade too. You guys don't know, but one of my coworkers, he got his whole entire arm touched up. He's 4 years ago. I can't remember what he said, but they were starting to fade. He's like, yeah, I need to get it touched up too. But I mean, it still looked phenomenal.
Oh yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I ain't gonna diss someone else's tattoo for having color and shit.
No, yeah.
My cousin, almost all of my other cousin, I guess the Disney one also, all of hers are full color.
Mm-hmm.
I got another cousin who's 3 out of 4 of her tattoos are
personal opinion. I don't. It's not something that you want to get for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. It was no words, no colors, and what was the other one?
No faces.
No faces.
I don't like getting faces. I don't like faces in general on tattoos. It's like a hodgepodge of so many different things that hurt me.
To mess up.
It's easy to mess up. Sometimes it's uncanny valley. There's one slight detail that's off, and it's
yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's that doesn't look right.
And it's a fade. You're obviously trying to represent something that you've seen.
The closest I get to a face is something like a Munchkin card,
or an animated thing.
Not even that. Actually,
I meant something that's like a drawing, essentially.
Maybe.
I knew one guy.
It would depend on the actual piece.
I know, one guy had a Deku from or Deku Midori, I think it was his name. Midoriya. From oh my god.
I'm not sure.
I'm sitting there, I blanked, and then he just said shoot.
My Hero.
My Hero Academia.
I was thinking
on his calf too, and it looked pretty fire.
I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
There's shit that can do really good for it. It's just personal. Right now, the closest I'd ever get to a face is Jin's mask.
That's a mask, not a face, though.
Exactly.
And also looks fire.
But what is a mask?
It hides your face. It's a
face for your face.
It's a face for your face.
Faces within faces.
Call it faceception.
Plans.
But also, I like that we went from modding to we're gonna come back to Minecraft. But what were your tattoo ideas?
First off, rat on a stick. I would so get rat on a stick tattooed on me. Not even
get the no value text at the bottom of the card.
See, that's where I'm willing to break a rule. I wouldn't get it anywhere around it, but I get it on the stick itself.
That's what you're saying.
Just have the stick be no color in it, and or no black in it, or whatever the fuck you want to say. I just have no value written inside of it.
I'd get the holy symbol from Betrayal at House on the Hill. Get the holy symbol tattooed right on my left bicep.
What
does it do?
With the rat on the stick, complete full view. There's a couple of tattoos that I would get small pieces on my thighs or on my calves and shit because I wear pants. So I wear pants. So it would be hidden a lot. Now, rat on a stick, dude, I get that straight up on my forearm, my bicep.
Rat on a stick. What is that? It's a rat on a stick.
I would so get that motherfucker's shrimp. I can't pull
That
it.
motherfucker. Write that down. That's a good tattoo idea.
The motherfucker's shrimp stripper.
Mm-hmm.
That is hard to say.
Shrimp stripper.
I would get that tattooed though.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds so gas.
Gas. What about you? What tattoo would you get?
BMO.
Mm-hmm. What other tattoos?
If he got BMO though, I'd so get a tattoo with him, like another Adventure Time thing.
BMO. You got any others?
Jake.
Have it. Oh, get Jake.
I just feel like his color would be hard to like actually capture, like
Mhm.
his skin. So we just gotta,
Look,
What do you mean?
you do Jake like here. You do the bottom half here, and then you have him go all the way up.
Why don't you have Jake, but he has a tattoo, so you put a tattoo inside of it of Bender's face.
Tattooception.
Yeah. Look at that.
look at. Nah, I want OG. I want OG Jake. Probably him where he's staring out with his coffee, just like that. I'd probably get that.
Mm.
But fuck, I don't like coffee.
I've got so many league tattoos I want to get. It's such a like, it's a goal type of goal, like a shoot for the moon type of goal.
Mm.
I want to get a tattoo representing every champion that I get level 7 mastery on.
Ooh.
And I want to get level 7 mastery on as many champs as I can.
Mm.
Like my next tattoo, I want it to be a Jin tattoo,
Mm.
just because it's my fourth. It's my
Yeah.
fourth tattoo, Jin 4.
Yeah.
Technically it'd be my fifth, but it's my fourth professional tattoo.
Mm.
And as we know, Jin is a professional,
Yes.
so makes sense.
Master.
I've got our drawing of a Rakan symbol that I'm gonna get tattooed eventually. There's Olaf, Gnar, Thresh, Braum, Nami, like that I've already got level 7 mastery on that I want to get tattooed.
Yeah.
And there's so many just waiting to be level 7.
I know I'd probably get, if it was a league one, it'd be Echo first. Probably Ornn then. Probably go for Ornn. I'd probably
Ornn's
yeah.
definitely up there for me. Get like a hammer and anvil type of tattoo
Yeah.
somewhere.
Also, it's, blacksmithing, because I have the Rance Rokorji from that Exalted thing, blacksmith. I probably also.
I mean, this here June thinks she said hammer and sickle.
Our tattoo.
Speaking of,
Our tattoo.
I was caught off guard. I was sitting there.
walking in.
She was like getting she was just doing the tattoo. She's like basically halfway done, probably got like 20 more minutes left. And all I hear is, "Oh, you've got some visitors." I'm like, "Oh, she must be talking about her." And then she says, "Oh, you've got some visitors, huh? You got some people to come see you?" I'm like, "Oh, it's them."
It's funny when we walked out. I was like, "Yo, can we check out our friend getting a tattoo?" And she was like, "Who is it?" And
We heard you
literally
talking.
heard you start like talking.
We're like, "That's him."
That's him.
Look, no, I walked in the house, and because I just walked in, I knocked on Cole's door, and he opened it up, and I walked in, and he goes, "Dude, I don't know where the fuck Devontae is."
I told
I know. I
you.
really
I'm
forgot.
sitting there, I'm like, he's getting a tattoo, and he's like, "Oh shit, yeah." And we're sitting there, and he goes, "Do you want to go see William watch him get a tattoo?" And I'm like, "Where is he? We didn't remember what place you went to."
Oh, I guess so.
We went in your room,
And you
and
had her.
we
You
found
had
her
card.
business card.
Oh, okay.
And then I looked at your whiteboard. Yeah. And we just wrote up there and went in. The lady was like, she was on the phone and she was like, "I gotta go, I got clients."
Client.
Not yet.
Ooh. Check still out for that one.
I gotta wait on the next page after that one. But, and yeah, we just asked like, "Hey, can we go?"
Also, relatively big, probably about 3-4 inches in length, basically.
Talking about your dick or the tattoo?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Is that your measuring stick now?
Maybe. Hold on, let me see here.
Oh, yeah.
Or it's modeled after.
Guess where I'm getting my next tattoo? My bicep.
That is one place I would never go with tattoos or piercings.
Your bicep?
No. Well, I probably never pierced
My other bicep.
think I do curls with.
I got you.
Yeah.
What time is it?
Yeah. It was pretty affordable. It was affordable. What is it? You get a $60 deposit, which actually is just used as a security spot, and it covers the basically if you meet, like if you come for the appointment, it covers the it's also added to the tattoo cost. So it was 60. I paid her 120, and so in total it was 180.
Oh, damn. Cost you $180?
That's a lot cheaper than any of mine.
Yeah.
Actually, my smaller one was the cheapest. My little rose on my finger that I never got touched up. I was like 80, 50, something like that. 80, $50 to $80, I think.
Damn, you got a deal, Delonte.
Yeah. Quality too. Like I said, both of my back tattoos were upwards of $300. It's funny because I love the entire tattoo, but there's like one little flower right here, like just stem kind of coming out, the tiny little flower right there, and that's just something I just really liked. It just kind of adds that kind of new.
I like the green, the neon looking green in the middle of the lines.
See, I'm never like super picky when it comes to my tattoos. Like oftentimes when it came to the artist that I went to originally, I would just go up and I'd be like, I want this thing. And then you come back with like, not a completely different design, but a design that was a lot different than what I showed and be like, is this good? Because they want to sell their own product. Yeah. And every time, like, I don't care. I put that in air quotes. Every time, like, they'll come back with them, just like, that's perfect. Doesn't matter if, like, I don't really like it as much as the last one. Perfect to me. Yeah. I love it. I came in there, I basically described it to her. I'm like, I want a treble clef tattoo. Oh, just need to sound out my words. Treble clef tattoo with vines and blue flowers. And so I spent like the last 2-3 weeks, however long, just looking up on, the internet, like, treble clef made out of vines, treble clef made out of wood with like roses and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? I don't know what to expect. This is gonna be my general idea. We're just gonna figure it out. And then like, I didn't know that basically they draw it. Yeah. I thought you just like, I was like, do I print out something and hand it to her? You can, like, especially if you want something like very, very, very specific. Yeah. Like my ex with the rose tattoo, she drew it. And like she photocopied it, printed it out, found like the best one that she liked. And she made like 3 or 4 photocopies of it and took it to the tattoo artist and said, I want this exactly. She was like, we want this exactly. I'm like, I want that exactly, sure. And got it tattooed. The whole process for both of us was like an hour. Just because it's so small. Yeah. Easy. I guess.
Yeah, how long did that take?
3 hours to 3.5, something like that. Because I went in there at 5. She saw me at 5:30 because she had to prepare a bunch of stuff. We got out like at 7 though. Yeah. We got out really early. The appointment was at 5. So yeah, I guess it'd be like 2.5 hours. 2.5 sounds about right. Sounds like they're 2:45, just being specific, I guess. 2 hours, 46 minutes, and 32 seconds. Hey, I'm not that autistic. I am. But man, I actually love getting tattooed. That like adrenaline rush that you get like in the middle of it's like more ink. I'd say it was definitely the feeling of like seeing like the artwork kind of like finish up because you just see it kind of smear and you're like, oh no, smear. Because it's all the excess ink and then it's also the like stencil ink and like it's getting wiped off and then suddenly you get this clean finished product. Exactly. And you're just like, amazing. This is amazing. The reaction image of like the black guy who's like, oh yeah. I'm gonna have to put a photo. I'll put you in charge of that. But that's always my like reaction to seeing that. It's like chef's kiss. Back to Minecraft. Yeah, back to Minecraft. Enough with the body mods. Skyrim's got like all kinds of great mods. Minecraft, for such like a sandbox game, its mods add so much more to it. Like actually like genuinely like change up.
Pretty much like a completely different game.
Yeah. Like there's mods that add storylines. There's mods that add like
whole new mechanics to the game.
Mhm.
Then there's mods like Sky Factory and Skyblock and shit like that, where it's like, hey, you don't have anything that you would normally have in Minecraft. Instead, you got to build it from scratch.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Cobblestone, you have to do a cobblestone generator. It really tests your skills with
It really does.
Minecraft knowledge.
It's so, and then like if you get shit like Sky Factory, it tests like basically your problem solving skills. Because believe me, you will mess something up and not know how you messed it up. Trying to connect like a generator to an autosave, and it's like, this is supposed to work. This is how he told me how it would work.
what is it? The blueprints say that this is how it's supposed to kind of go, but
Why the fuck aren't you powered?
it's like there's like a dirt blocks under it or something. That's disabling it. Like some weird stuff.
It's some stupid shit like you gotta connect a wire to it. And it's like, huh? What? I have the output going up into the autosave though. Yeah, but you gotta connect a wire to it. Oh my god, man. It's
good,
always
though.
so much fun.
Yeah, it is like good because they have to add like you can add texture packs.
Texture packs, whole new items.
What is it? Minecraft hard mode, is that what it is? Or Minecraft RL Craft. There you go.
RLCraft is
RLCraft.
intensive.
Yeah, completely redesigned. They basically say, hey, you're gonna die like at least 50 times before you figure out the game.
Yeah.
It's like Dark Souls basically. You sit there,
But
you,
Minecraft.
you find a dragon, and you find a dragon, and it's like basically blowing up a town, and you're like, I'm gonna go away, and then all of a sudden it spots you and just goes, you're dead instantly. Gotta respawn, lost everything. No, you have to get XP, and you have to basically get skill points, and to get those skill points, you can use them to like basically get your tools. So that's how you get that's how you can use like an iron pickaxe.
Like the first tool you get is a stone blade. Not even like a knife. It's just the blade.
Oh, how you have to start is you have to find some gravel, and then you use gravel, you get some flint, and then you use the flint, you have to like go up to like a tree or something like that. Cobblestone, there you go. And then you have to right click on the cobblestone, and then all of a sudden you get you can make like a flint knife,
yeah, flint blade or whatever.
And then you can use that to go to like trees or something and get a plant fiber.
Yeah,
and it's just like
it's so intense.
You would never know. Like from base Minecraft, you would have never have known to sit there. Like, what person's gonna sit there and think to himself, "Oh yeah, I'm just walking around here. Oh, I'm gonna try and punch this tree. Oh, I can't do it. You know what I got to do? I'm gonna go get some gravel, get some flint, and figure this out." It's like you wouldn't think that. 50 deaths later, okay, I have to look this up.
This is how it goes.
I need to walk through.
Another game that's
but the game is really fun.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Another game that gets like 10 times better. That's already a good game when modded. Started.
Mm.
So much can be added to that game because first off, the whole game itself was built by one person, Eric Barone, ConcernedApe. And then the mods, you can add 3 new towns, add over 100 new villagers, add all these new recipes, these new locations, these new like monster spawns, these new quests, etc., new crops.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the amount that people put into this game it goes to show that if Eric Barone had like an actual development studio with him, how much bigger the game would have been.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a fucking testament to like modding communities.
Yeah.
And another testament is back to Skyrim. The whole reason why the game has been resold like so many times is because Skyrim has such a strong modding community and it's constantly being like innovated basically by mods.
How old is that game now?
2012, I think, 2011.
Yeah, 10 years, and it's still going strong.
Yeah, it just got its re-release like last year. Last year, 2021, maybe. I don't remember.
I know I got like a discount on Steam for it, and I just like immediately, I started adding mods to it. And I can't remember because it's been so long since I played, but I added some mods to it, and I had a ball because games just craft out your own story pretty much.
And then there's so many games that you'd be surprised have mods.
Mm-hmm.
Games like Dragon Age, never knew they had mods. I think it's Vampire with a Y. VAMP.
Oh, Vampire. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think they've got a modding community on Nexus.
Ooh.
Like you just go on Nexus and you look, and there's so many mods.
Darkest Dungeon.
A ton of mods.
You get I played it through, beat it, and then I started playing it, and you get this mod like it adds a Ronin, like samurai, and dude freaking slaps. You know,
There's so much like extra stuff.
built up. Yeah, it's really cool. Who else? There's like a whole bunch of other stuff like
Slay the Spires got coming out.
Crusader. Oh, actually, one of the best. Well, there's one mod I haven't played in a while. There's like this one mod I can't remember what it does, but it adds like a jungle, if I believe. It adds like a jungle
Slay the
biome.
Spire?
Yeah, for Slay the Spire, you could go like instead of going to like the second level that you normally go to, which is like I think the inner. I can't remember what it's called.
I couldn't tell you.
But it's
I haven't
the-
played in a minute.
It's the second level. Instead of going there, you could go to the jungle, essentially, which you can fight spiders. Pretty cool, cool mechanics. The mod that I like the most though is the mod that gives every card, character, anything in the game that has eyes, it makes them googly eyes.
Dude, I gotta find them on now.
So
That's
you know,
such a good mod.
what is it? The whale? I think his name is like Neo or something like that.
Yeah.
Meow. He has like three googly eyes. Freaking your cards sit there. If they have like a face on them, googly eyes. It's great. It's so simple. I know it's so simple, but just
Even League's got mods. Technically.
does it?
All the like custom skins are mods.
I remember they.
So like when you watch someone like
The
Strawberry
scripts.
Walrus, mods. Him and what's his name? DrewTube. Both their games are modded the fuck out.
Wasn't there one? There's like one skin where it's like you're playing Yasuo, but like Yasuo is in a wheelchair
Yeah,
and
it's a
Yone's
skin.
pushing him.
It's a Gragas skin.
Oh Jesus!
It's so fucking funny.
It's crazy. Oh man.
I love the modding community of any game.
Mhm.
They'll add so fucking much to a game.
And just adds to the longevity of it too.
Exactly. It gets. When when I first found like Legacy of the Dragonborn, I was at the point of where I was like, this game is not fun. When it came to Skyrim, I was like, I've done everything I want to do in this game, and there's nothing new. Like, yeah, I'll discover a new location every now and then. I'll talk to a new NPC every now and then. But at the end of it all, I'm still going to go kill Alduin. I'm still going to go kill the Vampire Lord. And I'm still going to go kill Miraak. And that's it. And then my game is over, and I just
There's nothing to do
jack
with
myself off till the Ebony Warrior comes and challenges me. And that's it.
Wait, what?
When you hit level 80 in the game, it's one of 2 secret bosses, I think. When you hit, I put secret in air quotes. When you hit level 80 in the game, this dude dressed in full ebony armor will come up to you and say, like, I heard you're really strong. I want to challenge you. I am at this campsite in the mountains. Meet me there when you're ready to fight. You can go to his campsite in the mountains and just challenge him to a one-on-one duel. Winner lives. He uses the Thum. He's pretty decently strong. I think he uses one-handed and shield as well. And then the crazy part is, if you kill him and you like unmask him, basically, he's a right guard. And it's like, aside from the Dragonborn, which is believed to be the reincarnation of Akatosh and all that bullshit, aside from him, the only people that really use the Thum are Nords. So it's just really weird
However,
that a right guard has it.
yeah. I now remember the mods too. The mods for my playthrough added a whole bunch of spells, and it added a whole bunch of breaths.
I love ones that add new spells.
Yeah, breaths and like breathing styles. What is it? Thums. There you go.
Thums. Yeah.
So they added like all these cool things, and that was pretty cool. I can't remember what the spells were, but they definitely made the game. They made the game more dynamic. Like one was like telekinesis was like one spell you could use, something like that.
I'm hungry. Very hungry.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Where are we going? We're going to the Pancake Apartments.
Pancake Apartments, baby.
Trademark.
I remember there was
Home of
one.
Birds Chili.
Home of Chili Birds.
Home of Bob's Chili.
Home of Bob's food.
Bob's Beans.
Bob's Beans. There was one mod I had that it added a bunch of destruction spells, but it also changed the animation of when you're casting them. So like when you're casting like a really strong lightning spell, instead of just
When you sit there
fist
doing
and
that.
just shooting it at him, it actually like even in first person you can see your character winding up this animation to like shoot a beam of lightning at someone. It was awesome.
That's
It was
cool.
always so much fun.
What about you? What any
Mods.
yeah.
I haven't really modded much. I've played in a lot of like modded lobbies. Beyond that, the only game that I've like truly modded was Might and Magic 3, the Abyssal AOS mod, the mod that makes it where you can play online. It adds a new race, you can play online, it's like a 20, 30-year-old game.
Yeah.
And there's still like a couple thousand people online every day because it's real popular in Europe. So there's still, and it balanced the game. Because back then when you release a game, it's there forever. So a lot of shit was unbalanced. Necropolis would shit down your neck if you let them live long enough. They would just get like infinite skeletons. It'd get ridiculous.
Maybe I want them to.
Yeah, so it added a new faction, balanced the game.
Joke's on you.
New
I'm into
maps, cleaned up a lot of stuff, and it added. They regularly updated, and they added new items, and they added new combo items. So like you can collect certain artifacts, and if you collect certain sets, they become one huge item, Mega Chat item.
Dang.
And the undead have one where when they resurrect, they usually resurrect skeletons, but if they get this certain cloak, they resurrect liches instead. Yeah, that's pretty good though. It's a lot of fun. The new faction's cool too. It's pirates. So I like pirates.
Guess we gotta put Heroes of Might and Magic on another topic.
And we can play it.
We can talk about we can talk about general Heroes of Might and Magic.
Yeah, Might and Magic 5 was good. I'm sure they had mods for that. But Might and Magic 3 has the most support, even though it's like the
Another cool thing that is a series of mods that is revitalized to a really old fucking game is Daggerfall Unity. Daggerfall is actually the game with the biggest map currently.
What do you mean?
So
what do you
Daggerfall? I don't know.
second Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah.
It was during that game, I think, that both Todd Howard and Ted Peterson joined Bethesda. Ted Peterson being responsible for almost all of the naming of the gods in the Elder Scrolls world, and a bunch of the lore for the Elder Scrolls, right next to Michael Kirkbride. And then, of course, CEO.
Yeah, it just sounds so familiar in terms of
He's the CEO of Bethesda.
Does he did he do anything?
Yeah, back when Daggerfall was starting, Bethesda was a really small company. First off, Todd Howard went to Bethesda because he was like, I want to do this. I'm a big fucking nerd. I want to make video games. So he went to Bethesda's office. I think it was during a trip back home from college. He was just driving by and he was like, I'm gonna do this. He goes up to the office and he's like, hey, I will do anything to be a part of your company. I will be your janitor. And they said, listen, you're in college, right? And he's like, yeah. They're like, go back to college, finish up, then come back and see if you want to be a part of this company. He's like, okay. Goes to college and he decides, yeah, I do want to be a part of this company. Gets hired on while they're making both Daggerfall and the Terminator game. Because at the time, Terminator was a free license. So Ted Peterson also joins on the Terminator project. It's funny as fuck because it was his first project as well, and he was tasked with writing the game manual back when games came with those.
Archaic.
Oh. But there was a bug in the Terminator game that would cause the Terminators to glitch through the walls. And they would just phase in and out of walls.
Bethesda.
This is where it's not a bug, it's a feature first started. Because they could not fix that bug. So instead of not addressing or anything, Ted Peterson wrote in the guidebook, sometimes Terminators can phase through walls. Just simple as that. They literally wrote some versions of Terminators can phase through walls.
That's just, yeah, hey.
And when he gave the finished product, basically the finished draft to their head of logistics, the head of logistics goes, congratulations, you're a game designer. Simple as that. But he's responsible for the naming of a ton of different deities in the Elder Scrolls universe. Sheogorath is named after him. Because his name is Theodore. Sheogor. Their head of logistics at the time was Julian. The god of logic in the Elder Scrolls is Julianos.
I think I watched a video, a lore video about that.
Oh, yeah. There's all kinds. Camelworks has a really fucking great video. I think it's Camelworks. About him interviewing Ted Peterson. Really good video. Highly recommend it. But yeah, he's responsible for a lot of that shit. Anyways, Todd Howard comes back, joins up with them, and they both make Daggerfall. Daggerfall, it basically leads to what Bethesda has become. It's like they're a huge success. It's really good.
They put them on the map, you would say? The kind of thing that
Just
basically...
about. Before they did like Daggerfall and Arena was the first one. Before they did that, they were a sports game company. They were making like golf and hockey games. And then they made Arena and Daggerfall and Terminator, and it just picked up from there.
I'd definitely be interested in learning the process behind that of like, what made them do like such a drastic change in risking to like a new market.
Well, I think it was one company like went under as they were making Arena, and like Bethesda basically hired like a skeleton crew of that former company, and they just brought that idea over and were like, "Hey, can we keep making this?" And Bethesda was like, "Yeah, sure." Fun fact: the only Australian animal featured in the Bethesda game is a wombat, and it's featured in Daggerfall. Ted Peterson is also responsible for all of the books that you read in Daggerfall. Every single book that you read in Daggerfall was written by Ted Peterson, and they're all like lore related, and they're all I can't remember if it was all the books in Daggerfall or if it's like because when you read books and like the Elder Scrolls, some of them give you skill bonuses.
Skill points, yeah.
He had to go through all the books in Daggerfall, and each one that gave you like a skill bonus, he had to write things related to that skill. Rather than just like some random story about a dude jumping over a well or some shit like that.
How many books are in there?
Too many. But going back to the modding thing, Daggerfall Unity has come out like I couldn't tell you when. I think it was in the past 5 years. It revamps the graphics, revamps the controls, adds new content, adds former cut content, changes some of the like original content, and just makes the game a genuinely better experience for the time it is now.
So it's modded, or is it like a remaster?
It's modded. It is not made by
So it's basically it's just like you can basically say it's a remaster, but it's modded. That's pretty cool.
It's completely like fan made.
Yeah, I wonder how long that took because that must have taken
But one of the funniest things is they had originally intended to add dragons into Daggerfall in the Alik'r Desert or the Alik'r Desert, and they said instead of they just couldn't do it in time. They couldn't add the dragons in time. They couldn't get in there. Ted Peterson, also responsible for writing the game book for Daggerfall, he had to finish the book before they finished the game. So he didn't know if there were going to be dragons or not. And like, he was asking, and they're like, we don't know. We're trying to get it done. We don't know if it'll work. We don't know if it's going to happen. So him, not wanting to leave that information out of the guidebook. Also, you can't really put it in the guidebook if it's not there.
Yeah.
So he just writes in the guidebook. It's one of my favorite stupid stories. He writes in the guidebook, there might be dragons in the Alik'r Desert. 20, 30 years later, whatever you want to say, there was a dude on YouTube making a video on the new like Daggerfall Unity game, like just a playthrough of it. And like he spends like 3-hour-long episodes exploring the Alik'r Desert looking for dragons that are not in the game. Just because Ted Peterson wrote in the guidebook, there might be dragons. Perfect.
Dang. Well, I say we talked about a lot. We talked about Minecraft, Skyrim. We also talked about body modding, tattoo specifically, not like
I have piercing.
Getting like a bionic arm. We haven't reached that point yet. We'll get back to you.
Or have we?
Hey Cole, you want to play rock paper scissors for Prince Albert piercing?
Gross.
How about a tattoo of the heroin turtle?
Listen,
ready? Let's get.
You get one half of the heroin turtle. I'll get the other half.
Is it heroin or a heroin? Does it have like a?
I don't know, but I think that's a heroin.
I can't believe we said that. Oh,
anyways,
yeah.
Kind of some announcements, I guess I can make at the end of this. Since we were talking about modding, and I did talk about downloading a bunch of Skyrim mods, I do intend, if I can get them to fucking download and work, to be doing a video series on this channel of me playing through that mod. Don't exactly know how it's going to be cut and how the content's going to look at the moment, especially if I can't get the fucking run. I might just play a base Skyrim or a base Oblivion run, whichever. And then also, we do have some content with all three of us that we're going to try to do of modded Stardew. Because what's more fun than a co-op farm with more to do? More fish, more plants,
more chances for
more
Cole to, blow it up.
Less bombs. Get a mod to remove bombs.
I gotta have it for the moms.
No,
Yes, I can. How you farm quick?
just go to the skull
Yeah,
mine.
that's how you kill
sit on,
mines.
Yeah.
go to the skull
It's the
mine.
only way to kill
Go to the
mines.
skull mine. Sit on the floors and kill the serpents and get the napalm ring.
Mhm.
That way, when you kill things, they explode. So when you kill mummies, they
It's
explode
easy
and
for
they
you
die.
to say you ain't gotta farm serpents.
You're right, I don't, because I don't blow up the farm.
He's lost his privileges. What is it? Add a mod, the holy hand grenade. Just sit there, doesn't blow up any player made structures. Then you can just
They
go
call me
ham.
that.
Then you can just go ham and just.
But
I can blow it all up with holy hand. I can just throw holy hand grenades all day long at our farms.
Yeah. Hey, we
The
get.
one time it glitches out, the one time it messes up, I'd be like, it's not my fault. It's not good like this. It messed up.
Yeah. Oh,
I'll
God.
still blame you.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's a good place to end.
Call it, yeah.
Talk about a lot of good stuff.
Mhm.
Hopefully, the LCSPA and Riot reach an agreement in the next 2 weeks. Hopefully, TFT does not keep fucking crashing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that content. It should be coming in June. I do, at the very least, plan on getting the first video to whatever I'm solo doing out by the end of June. And then if you don't see it in June, watch out for that Stardew content coming in July.
Sweet.
We don't know how long these will run at the current moment and how
We'll work on that like later on down
how
the line.
scheduled they'll be at the moment.
Yeah, nothing concrete.
Yeah, exactly.
What are we doing next week? What's our topic going to be on?
Next week, we are talking about comfort games, which is also another reason that I talked about the Stardew mods and co-op thing.
Comfort game.
Because who doesn't love a good comfort game? Who doesn't love a good, like, chill?
Terraria,
Slay the Spire.
Slay the Spire.
Any Hades where you're not trying to sweat for a record.
Hades. Hours. Just
Okay.
talk about that.
Anyways, this has been Midnight Coffee Shop, and I've been your host, AJ.
I'm Cole.
I'm Devontae.
I'm Dave.
Got it.
Anyways, thank you all for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Tell us what your favorite game to mod is, and tell us what your favorite comfort game is. But that has been it for tonight. So thank you.
And if I don't see you tomorrow, damn, wait, hold on. Wait. If I didn't get to tell you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fumble.
Hit the reset, hit the reset
Would that
button.
be considered a safety?
Run back.
Anyways, good evening and good night.